Ask him if Putin has the photos of Trump blowing Bubba. And I thought I had Cirrus.
Yo! Sucking that dick. What is up, guys? It's your boy Brandon. Stay busy. Back at you with another video. And today I think I have a great video. As you guys know, the emails have finally leaked. They may be a little classified, redacted, you know, some bullshit, but the emails have finally released. And today we are going to be reacting to the worst of the 20,000 Epstein emails. And if you don't know what the whole Epstein controversy is, you need to do your research because you live under a motherfucking rock. But besides that, let's hop right into the fucking video, man. Let's get it.
And I want to pick out the 21 most interesting, damaging, and shocking revelations because the story of Jeffrey Epstein, his ties to Donald Trump, his level of global influence, and the implications it all
Donald Trump
and the world has now been blown wide open. Let me start off a little bit differently here.
Busted wide open.
Rather than simply diving in right away, I want to begin with a sort of index glossary of names. There's a pretty hefty number of people that we need to be familiar with before comprehending these emails.
Okay.
At the very start, right now,
who we gotta know?
One by one, and explain who these people are, so that if at any point someone doesn't remember, or I say a name that they don't recall or aren't familiar with, they can come back to the beginning and find out who that person is.
Who we gotta know? Who we gotta know?
Here we go.
Damn, 15 names?
Jeffrey Epstein, financier, trafficker, well-connected socialite, and the main subject of the video. He was arrested in
the mastermind of the
2019,
the mastermind
in 2020.
of the pedophilia, Mr. Epstein, number one.
If you want to know more, there's a bunch of prior videos in a playlist down below, but yeah, I'm sure pretty much everyone is already familiar with who he is. Next is Ghislaine Maxwell. Maxwell was Epstein's right-hand woman, if you will. She helped facilitate all of his activities.
So we got the boss, and then we got the not really like the boss, but like, you know, like it's like we got Batman and we got Robin, but like for villains. So we got the Joker and we got Harley Quinn.
Trafficking and resulting in a conviction. But after a special interview with the Deputy Attorney General of the United States, she was moved to a minimum security holding facility with special treatment as well, and is now allegedly seeking clemency from President Donald Trump. Obviously,
special treatment.
I'm sure everyone already knows who he is, but his wife Melania is also a kind of important figure because
all involved.
Author named Michael Wolff, after threatening him with a $1 billion defamation suit in an effort to force retractions on some of the claims that he made about her and Jeffrey Epstein. Michael Wolff, as we just said, an author who wrote extensively about Epstein and conducted a number of interviews with him, supposedly something like 100 hours of footage, is a journalist and author closely connected to the Epstein story, who has not only made explosive claims about things he allegedly saw, but also embedded himself in the controversy by targeting President Trump repeatedly.
Okay, so we got Wolff, the first good person on the list who's trying to expose the nonsense.
Thomas Jr., a New York Times journalist who is also relevant to the situation, highly. But I also think it's worth mentioning that from 1994 to 1998, Landon Thomas was an asset manager at Morgan Stanley. He's not just a journalist, he's also a finance guy. Next up is Steve Bannon, former chief strategist at the White House during the first 7 months of Trump's.
He definitely had to know.
Very important. Then
you involved.
Catherine Rumler, former White House counsel to Barack Obama, 2011 to 2014, and Larry Summers, former Secretary of the Treasury, Director of the Economic Council, and close personal friend of Jeffrey Epstein. Still not done. There's Bill Clinton, former president.
You was sucking that dick, Donald!
Epstein, Jeffrey Epstein's brother, and then Linda Stone, who is a former Apple and Microsoft executive who reportedly idolized Epstein. Her name comes up in the emails as well.
Idolized pedophile who owned a child sex trafficking ring?
Almost done. Last three names. Tom Barak or Barrick, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Private equity and real estate guy who's done extensive fundraising for President Trump.
Okay.
Also serving as the senior advisor on the 2016
Tom Barak
presidential campaign. chairman of his inaugural committee and now current United States ambassador to Turkey. There's Vitaly Churkin, former Russian ambassador to the United States. And lastly, Thorbjorn Jagland, former Prime Minister of Norway and Secretary General of the Council of Europe. There's a few more names.
There's a lot of motherfuckers involved, okay.
Fully understand, because the 21 most interesting or damaging emails specifically refer to, come from, or are exchanged with one of these people.
Okay.
With that fully out of the way, let's dive right in. 20,000 emails have been released by House Democrats and House Republicans.
Jesus Christ. Yo, shout out to this creator, by the way, for deciphering all 20,000 of these emails, because I know my ass couldn't do it. That's why we watching his video.
It's terrible. It's just, they're all over the place. But those emails are now being dissected by the internet at large. Thankfully, there is a searchable database that was put together by Courier, which I'll link down below for anyone interested. So the process of finding and sorting out relevant versus irrelevant emails becomes much, much easier. And after doing precisely that, these are the top 21 things that I believe are most interesting, damaging, and shocking from all of them. Here we go. Number 21. This is an email from Jeffrey Epstein to Landon Thomas Jr., New York Times journalist, in 2015, after Landon Thomas said that everyone was coming to him thinking that he had juicy info on Epstein and Trump. Quote, read the BuzzFeed Read My Airplane Logs and Hawaiian Tropic contest, / have them ask.
And this was in 2015.
Almost walking through the door, leaving his nose print on the glass as young women were swimming in the pool, and he was so focused he walked straight into the door. End quote. Not the most
horny ass nigga, man. Horny ass. He saw the cheeks.
To be honest, distracted by young women in a pool. But I figure we might as well start slow at the beginning. Number 20. Contained in the very same email thread about how people assumed there was juicy info, Epstein also says, quote, would you like photos of Donald and girls in bikinis in my kitchen? End quote.
That's kind of weird to say.
Absolutely wrong.
And girls, not women anymore. We went from young women to girls. Everybody remember that. We went from young women to girls. Oh shit, it's muted. Ah, shit, fuck.
Ambiguous or potentially compromising photos of Trump to a reporter. Number 19. This is where things get much more complicated.
Okay.
Donald Trump has long maintained that he split away from Jeffrey Epstein entirely in the early 2000s. There's been multiple contradicting reasons directly cited for that breakup, let's call it, but all of them occur between 2004 and 2007. At least, that's what we've been told. In an email thread from an unknown redacted sender as of 2017, a visitor was on their way to Epstein's house, notably the second floor of Epstein's house, which is where prominent victim Virginia Giuffre specifically indicated the massage tables were, and the bedrooms with cameras were documented in evidence photographs, the place where abuse occurred. This unknown person went to meet him as part of an exchange where they asked for
unknown.
Says that the house is more private for meeting. And suddenly, quote, I'm at the door, but I will wait for my time. I don't want to come early to find Trump in your house. End quote. And keep in mind.
Oh, so he was in. Trump was already in that motherfucker. He been in that motherfucker. It's 2017. Trump said he was done in 2007, 2008. So Trump been going back to this motherfucker's crib getting that underage coochie.
After the two had supposedly parted ways. Number 18. This is an exchange allegedly between Steve Bannon
and some Clinton dick
and Jeffrey Epstein. Reading, quote, from Epstein. Prince Andrew and Trump today. Too funny, Bannon. Recall Prince Andrew's accuser came from Mar-a-Lago. Further down, can't believe no one is making you the connective tissue, referring to Epstein. To which Epstein then replies, F and B only, end quote. Seemingly speaking in code, I guess. I'm not entirely sure what to make of that one, but I certainly thought it was interesting. Number 17. This is an exchange between Kathy Rumler, former White House counsel to Barack Obama, and Jeffrey Epstein in 2014. Quote from
Strange.
You need to talk to boss, Rumler responds. Agreed, but I need to be prepared to say yes before I talk to him. Epstein again. Understood. It comes down to high risk / reward, low risk / reward.
Why is this going from bottom up? That's confusing the shit out of me. It's weird.
Professional, emotional, and financial. After which Rumler responds, most girls do not have to worry about this crap. Epstein says, "Girls, careful, I will renew an old habit." After which he lists off some of the world's most powerful businessmen and politicians, saying, "You are a welcome guest at any. Also, if you think there are interesting people in town, everyone here for Climate Summit, Clinton, Security Council. Holy shit, I'm on or next 30 minutes." End quote. One thing I should mention right now.
Huh?
Further,
Damn, hella people
absolutely
involved.
full of typos. Epstein and multiple of the people that he regularly corresponded with had precisely zero regard for proper grammar. So if it sounds like near gibberish at times, that's just what
It sounds like they texting. Well, they are texting, but
new and old habit in reference to girls is certainly a little bit suspect when it comes to the most prolific abuser in human history. Number 16. This is another exchange between
Sick.
Rumler and Epstein on a thread titled "Donald Trump's High Crimes and Misdemeanors." Rumler says, quote, "It makes no difference whether it was his money. Issue is failure to disclose. Plus, fact that he has lied his ass off about it makes clear that he knew it was illegal." To which Epstein responds, "You see, I know how dirty Donald is. My guess is that non-lawyers New York biz people have no idea what it means to have."
okay, so obvious. This is what I'm saying. So like, Donald Trump definitely was on that island touching them kids for surely, because even Epstein is here talking about it. I know how dirty Donald is, mind you. Is Epstein gay too? Like, this shit mad fruity, like mad sus. Like, I know how dirty Donald is. Like, I feel like there's so many other ways to say that. Like, why you have to say it in the most freak nasty mook way?
Your fixer flip, end quote. That particular thread is probably about the criminal cases that Trump faced in New York, presumably. But the idea of Jeffrey Epstein saying, "I know how dirty Donald is," should make even the most devout supporters raise an eyebrow. Just to hammer that
Of course.
home, number 15 is an exchange between Larry Summers and Jeffrey Epstein in which Epstein says, quote, "Recall I've told you I have met some very bad people, none as bad as Trump. Not one decent cell in his body. So yes, dangerous," end quote.
I just want to say, how can Jeffrey Epstein say this about Trump when Jeffrey Epstein, like, as we pretty much know, he ran the whole operation? You know, like, how, like, think about that. Jeffrey Epstein ran a child trafficking ring. And not even just child trafficking, just human trafficking in general, but he trafficked many children and things like that, right? You are a child trafficker. What do you have to see about someone to think, to say, I've met some very bad people, none as bad as Trump, and there's not one decent cell in his body? Like, think about that. You are a child trafficker, pedophile, but something you have seen by this person disgusts you so much for you to say, I don't think there's one decent cell in his body. Trump was doing something, bruh.
Ideally, at this point, the gravity of the situation is
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, think about it. Think about it.
beginning to scratch the surface of how bad this is getting. Number 14. This is another chain between Epstein and a redacted correspondent, which says, quote, "It will all blow over. They're really just trying to take down Trump and doing whatever they can to do that." To which Epstein replies, "It's wild because I am the one able to take him down." End quote.
And that's exactly why he got killed. This is why, you know, they hit the fake suicide on him. This is why he hung himself right in that cell.
Why is it that Epstein, at the end of 2018, shortly before he was arrested the second time and then died under suspect circumstances, why is it that he's explicitly saying, "I'm the one able to take him down," about the sitting president of the goddamn country? Just food for thought. Now for an even crazier one. Number 13. How many people remember this right here? The weird Bill Clinton painting that Epstein had with a blue dress and red high heels? Anyone? Okay, well,
Because Bill Clinton was wearing that shit.
by Epstein and hanging
Because Bill Clinton was wearing that
this
shit
particular email thread
while he was
between
sucking
Epstein and
Trump.
his brother, in 2018, which says, quote,
I mean, while Trump was sucking them.
all good, Bannon with me. Ask him if Putin has the photos of Trump blowing Bubba. And I thought I had Cirrus.
Yo! Sucking that dick. Trump blowing Bubba. Like, guys, President of the United States was deep throating a former president of the United States, bro. Like, wow, 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 wow. Like, what?
You and your boy Donnie can make a remake of the movie Get Hard. You mean Donnie T, end quote. For the sake of clarity right now, just in case anybody didn't pick up on this, he doesn't say if Putin has photos. He says if Putin has
The photos. So they exist. They exist.
one of Bill Clinton's nicknames. I have absolutely no idea what these emails actually mean, but I can certainly.
You don't know what they mean, bro. What does that mean, bro? Ask him if Putin has the photos of Trump blowing Bubba. What do you think that means?
See why the Trump administration is so very desperate to stop the release of the Epstein files. This is a nightmare for them. Number 12, a simple email from Michael Wolff, quote, there's an opportunity to come forward this week and talk about Trump in such a way that could garner you great sympathy and help finish him. Interested? End quote.
Finish him.
Number 11.
Pause.
Linda Stone in September of 2015 and says, quote, wondering if the fact that so many people are on antidepressant, ADHD, and other drugs is what makes Trump appealing and his flaws invisible. Will you have a cabinet position? She's asking Jeffrey Epstein if he'll have a fucking cabinet position with Trump in 2015.
Whoa.
She also says, do you think he can win? Speak, please. What do you think? To which he replies, too far to tell. We will know much more come October 15th. But then, after she asks, you still in Paris? Epstein says, Trump Tower. Keep in mind, we have been repeatedly told to believe that the two separated completely sometime in the early 2000s.
They didn't. He's at Trump Tower, nigga.
Friend be asking him whether or not he'll have a cabinet position while he stays at Trump Tower. Number 10. This exchange is between a Qatari businessman, I believe, named Jabor Y, and Epstein, where he
Sound like Jabba the Hutt, Star Wars character, Jabor Y.
He says, quote, in Paris today, headed
Jabor Y from the 5th Galaxy.
for New York. Trump gives many new things to do, end quote. Once again, casting a very long, very deep shadow over the idea that these two men parted ways a decade earlier and never spoke again. There's a lot of corroboration that that tale, that story, that talking point that they've been giving for like 20 years is not true. Number 9. Once again, Epstein and this Jabor Y person, quote, sorry, I just checked your email. What time you will leave to the airport?
Also, guys, we're seeing different years. We've seen 2015, 2014, 2016, 2017, and 2018, where it seems like Jeffrey Epstein was involved with Trump in some way.
Hope you are in
So all those years he talks about he hadn't seen Epstein is lies. He's seen Epstein almost 10 years after the fact.
a better place now than New York. Sorry, yes, Palm Beach, all Trump people here, end quote. Again, 2016, all Trump people in Palm Beach, but somehow the president knows nothing about him and never spoke to him since 2004.
Stop the cap.
None of it adds up. Number 8. This is between Epstein and Tom Barrack or Tom Barack, however you say that. Closely connected fundraiser and senior advisor to Trump's campaign. Just keep that in mind. This thread is from 2016. Quote, hope you are well. Photos look good. FYI, I receive many calls a week about both Donald, beauty contest, Mar-a-Lago, etc., and Clinton from reporters. Less so recently with Clinton, but my answers are always, I have nothing to say, or I try to ignore altogether. A few times I've been ambushed on the street with questions, but I am more careful now. Followed by, send photos of you and child. Make me smile. Sure, that could be innocent. Send a few wholesome family photographs, but A, this is Jeffrey Epstein that we're talking about right now, and B, This is communication about Epstein refusing to answer incriminating questions between him and Trump's own senior advisor in 2016. 7. Good old Landon Thomas.
That's fucking crazy.
Email exchange that appears to be warning Epstein, reading, quote, "He is digging around again. Not clear if it's another book or expanded paperback version. Was asking me all sorts of questions about why you hired Ken Starr. I told him I had no idea. I think he is doing some Trump-related digging too. Anyway, for what it's worth." End quote.
Okay, guys, it seems like here, like, it almost seems as if Epstein, I guess, was on Trump's side in the beginning, but then it almost seems like Epstein is like a double agent, and like he wanted to get Trump on this, and then Trump was on it. Like, I'm so confused, right? Because like he's on his side as his friend, and then he's going behind his back and saying this, and that. So, I'm very confused about this. Like, all we know is that they cooperated and they both did some sick shit together. But how deep does this go? Because Epstein himself is saying Trump is disgusting and terrible, and I believe, quote unquote, from what we saw earlier, was he does not have a single good cell in his body.
Why on earth is a New York Times journalist warning Jeffrey Epstein and giving him a heads up that someone is looking into him and Trump? Why is that happening? And why is that happening at that time during that year? Number 6, Landon Thomas to Jeffrey Epstein, quote, "He is scaring the shit out of me now. He could well tank the global economy. Can Barack talk sense to him anymore? Maybe it's time for you to jump in now. Given how he is throwing caution to the wind in such epic fashion, why wouldn't he take your call? Give it a shot." To which Epstein replies, "He feels alone and is nuts."
Wait, it's actually crazy. All these people around Trump know and knew way back in 2018 that he was doing this bullshit and was going to do this bullshit with the economy, and nobody wanted to stop him.
Everyone from day one, evil beyond belief mad, and most thought I was speaking metaphorically. It's obvious he could crack. Stormy Daniels, lies after lies after lies, end quote. The world's most notorious sex trafficker, okay, directly referring to the sitting president
as evil beyond mad belief.
Number 5.
What?
Inexplicably, apparently emailed to himself from another account he controlled, Epstein sends a very long list of names. Rothschild, Rumler, Churkin, Schumer, Rockefeller, some names we know, some names we don't, across a wide range of political affiliations and business sectors. But that email...
This has to be an email of everybody involved. Like, there's no way.
...is titled List for Bannon Steve, and it was sent in June of 2019. 1 month later, Epstein faced his list. I don't know what that list is for. I don't know all the people that...
It gotta be everybody involved.
I can tell you that this is a tiny little fraction of the files that are being withheld from the public, and that the level of discrepancy between what we now see in black and white correspondence versus what the current administration has been incessantly claiming is unignorable. They are not telling the truth. Number 4. Now for some of the most damning things, okay? In a 2008...
It gets more damning than Trump sucking dick? And that he's evil?
An email thread between Epstein and Thorbjorn Jagland. We can see...
Thorbjorn.
I think you might suggest to Putin that Lavrov can get insight on talking to me. Vitaly Churkin used to, but he died. After which...
So, not only do we got pedophilia, we got Trump sucking dick of one of the former presidents. So that's just weird. Like, ain't nothing wrong with being gay, but I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of crazy to think one of your former presidents was getting his dick sucked by the current president, and now we have pretty much confirmed, because people had always been speculating and things like that, but pretty much confirmed that something around the Trump administration or his people, they were doing some type of collaborating or cooperating with Putin.
Epstein continues later.
If you don't know who Putin is, he is currently the Russian president, leader, dictator. I don't know what you call him.
Churkin was great. He understood Trump after our conversations. It's not complex. He must be seen to get something. It's that simple. End quote. Let's get something straight right now, okay? This is email evidence in 2018 of Jeffrey Epstein, who has repeatedly claimed explicitly to hold compromising information about sitting President Donald Trump, talking to the former Norwegian Prime Minister, and saying that he coached Russia on how to handle Donald Trump. I don't care who you
That's a little weird.
Politics or loyalty
Yeah.
you have. That's a fucking problem. Number 3. These last 3 are some of the most common.
Huge problem, because now you have people inside the United States government who are so fucking close and high up to people like the president who are cooperating against him with the Russian government. Like, this is insane.
Ones that mainstream media have been fixating on, I guess, the most. But there's a very good reason for that. From Epstein to Ghislaine Maxwell, quote, "I want you to realize that the dog that hasn't barked is Trump. Virginia spent hours at my house with him. He has never once been mentioned, police chief, etc. I'm 75% there." To which Maxwell replies, "I've been thinking about that." End quote. Number 2, email.
I'm 75% there.
Virginia Giuffre, we know that because of context now. Blank worked at Mar-a-Lago. She was the one that accused Prince Andrew. Trump said he asked me to resign. Never a member ever. Of course he knew about the girls, as he asked Ghislaine to stop. End quote. And then lastly, number 1, the big cheese from
He knew about the girls.
Michael Wolff to Jeffrey Epstein at the end of 2015, quote, "I hear CNN planning to ask Trump tonight about his relationship with you, either on air or in scrum afterwards." Epstein replies, "If we were able to craft an answer for him, what do you think it should be?"
What?
Would they be able to craft an answer for him is the real question. And then finally, quote, "I think you should let him hang himself if he says he hasn't been on the plane or to the House, then that gives you a valuable PR and political currency. You can hang him in a way that potentially generates a positive benefit for you. Or if it really looks like he could win, you could save him, generating a debt." Of course, it is possible that when asked, he'll say Jeffrey is a great guy and he's gotten a raw deal and is a victim of political correctness, which is to be outlawed in a Trump regime. End quote. Those 21 emails.
Wow. So it seems like they wanted Trump to get elected, even though they didn't like his policy and shit like that. So they all didn't get tied up with the fucking child trafficking.
Just mull over and unpack those for themselves. Those 21 emails, although in proper context, I am absolutely positive that there's more, let alone the rest of the files that are being suppressed and
That's fucking insane, guys.
Overtly corrupt administration. Those 21 email threads, let's call them, are the notable standouts of the latest Epstein document release that I saw. And if you go back across the saga thus far, these emails make it abundantly clear, overwhelmingly clear, that pretty much everyone involved has been lying through their teeth the entire time.
Lying.
The truth is
Lying.
Horrific.
Lying.
Like
all these fucking government officials and people, and I would not even just government officials, right? We got just high profile people, government officials, S tier celebrities, government officials from all across the world, not just America, right? Just lying and conniving and sneaking and doing this weird pedophilia shit, you know what I'm saying? And I kind of want to know why. You know, are they just sick and twisted, or is it like they're sick and twisted because of, you know, some higher up reasons, spiritual reasons? I don't know, but like, it's just like, fuck, bro. It's just like, damn. Because like, I think for a long time, like, people knew like the American government, you know, they do some shady shit. Like, every government does some shady shit, but like, America is really good at doing the shady shit. I mean, you know, that's why they are a global superpower, right? They're just good at doing the shady shit. But it just got to a point where like, it went from shady shit for the betterment of the country to we're doing the shady shit because we got hella money and we just some rich ass niggas. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are politicians acting like just random rich niggas. You know, you guys have control of millions and millions of people and legislation and policy. It's insane.
Like I said before, this is a developing story across many months that I'll talk about to the bitter end over and over. But for now, that's it. If you want to support the channel, check out the links down below. A special VPN deal, locals and Patreon, channel memberships. I'm trying to move more in that direction as opposed to ad revenue, so check those out if you want to. And more, but I'll cut it there and stop rambling. As always, thank you all for watching. Question everything, and have a nice night.
Alright, but hey man, if y'all fuck with the video, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know your guys' thoughts on this whole Epstein situation, because, you know, I could go into the conspiracy rabbit hole with y'all. Y'all just let me know, you feel me? And if you didn't fuck with the video, give it a thumbs down. Give it a boo, boo, boo. Let me know down in the comment section below. And it's your boy Brandon. Stay busy. And I'm going to see you in the next one. Peace.